How you guys doing?
Good, Coach. Coach, what's one of the biggest keys, obviously with Justin being out, in terms of a guy like Caden stepping in, maybe maintaining kind of that same level of expectation you have for the defense?
Yeah, the standard is always the standard, and the thing we try to preach to you guys is you're only one play away from being up, and so everybody's got to stay ready. And one thing we're always harping on the guys about is that no matter what your role is, everybody's got to prepare to play. So Caden's done a good job of that, and so I feel confident he'll do a hell of a job in there.
Coach, what changed from the first half to second half, and what momentum can you carry from that second half? I think you held them like 34 yards, dominated, but the first half penalties, I mean, just things were not maybe typical that you would expect from this defense.
Yeah, maybe a big part of it is probably just the game speed. Getting used to playing football again at full speed and tackling and all that stuff. Things happening a lot faster. I always think there's a big jump in terms of the speed of the game. Even if you play in preseason games, it goes so much faster in a regular season game. Same thing when you get to the playoffs. The game just gets faster and faster. And so I think the guys just did a good job of in the second half of just reacting better. They got their feet under them, felt more comfortable. We didn't really do a lot adjustment-wise. I just think, we cleaned up some things, and then the guys did a good job of executing.
So you think you would have been better prepared had the guys played more in preseason?
I don't know that. I don't know if you would ever play them enough to, make it significant. If you only play 10 or 15 plays in a game, I don't know if that's going to get you game ready either. So, I like our plan. I think it's a good plan, and we were prepared to play. I'm not going to use that as an excuse.
Chubb had those two sacks. How much do you think he needed that game for his confidence after physically struggling last year?
Well, I honestly think that him just getting through training camp and off season and having a lot of good work, I think he's been feeling good for a while, and he's been healthy, and I think that's the biggest thing for him. He's confident in his ability, and I know if he feels good, he's going to be feeling fine and playing fine. So,
Coach, with no Justin and maybe no Josie again, how much do you have to over-communicate, and who do you kind of filter stuff through when you take two of your best communicators off the field?
Yeah, well, if Josie doesn't play, Alex will still have the mic, and, that doesn't really change anything. Alex, we feel very confident in his ability to communicate and all that stuff. And, Justin is an elite guy back there in terms of not only his ability, but his above-the-neck knowledge as well. And so, that's going to be missed. But Caden is very sharp and, doesn't have the same experience, but, equally smart, and I think he'll do a good job.
How would you evaluate how Pat handled DK during the game?
He did very well.
Was that the goal to limit the over-the-top or explosives there with him?
Yeah, that's always the goal against anybody is to limit the explosives. But, I think we did a good job of playing over the top of them. But then we also challenged him in times. There was a lot of snaps where he went down there and pressed him and, tried to deny the ball, and he did a good job.
As a friend and someone who knows Nathaniel Hackett really well, how confident are you that he can overcome the criticism that he's had this week?
Extremely confident.
Why so?
Because I know him.
O.J. Howard had a couple touchdowns just like the Texans with challenges.
Say that one more time, please.
The tight end for the Texans had 2 touchdowns. What kind of challenges he had, and also
Oh, yeah, he's just big guy that can run, and so they do a good job of getting them in situations where you think you're going to run the ball, and then they get them vertically down the field. And so we just got to be aware of the situations when they're taking those shots and how they're going to utilize them.
What do you think of Alex and Jonas' performance on Monday? It seemed like they maybe got better as the game went on.
Yeah, I think that's reflective of the whole defense as a whole. They got their feet under them. They played better as the game progressed through. And, I think just playing football again and tackling guys again was probably the biggest thing. So.
What do you see on film when you watch Davis Mills?
Good quarterback. He's got good mobility. That has the ability to throw accurately. And he's a good player. Obviously he's not the most experienced. He's still growing in the game, but he's a good football player, and we got to definitely account for him.
What was the experience like for you calling plays in the regular season on defense for the first time?
Like I said earlier to you guys, I think the process of going through the week is always the most important thing, and I think when we prepare the right way, you just kind of naturally just call the game, and I almost feel like any of our coaches, because we kind of do it as a staff, could probably do it. And then, you can't discredit the live experience of doing it in preseason as a prep. So, I felt good.
You guys forced 3 fumbles in Monday night's game, covered 1, but more than we had seen around here in a while. What does the teaching look like in terms of how you make that an emphasis?
Yeah, one of our things, one of our team objectives is the football, both on offense and defense. And so that's something we talk about every day, and, and that's a big emphasis. And, the more takeaways we can get and the way, if we can eliminate giving the ball away on offense, you're going to have success as a team.
The Seahawks had negative 12 yards of offense in the fourth quarter. Have you ever been a part of a performance like that on defense, and how impressed were you with that?
Yeah, I was very impressed. But, we are very confident in our ability to play high-level defense, and I think it's like we got to just coach well, we got to play well, and, play up to our ability and coach up to our ability. And I think if we do that, the sky's the limit.
First touchdown where the tight end got loose after Gino got out of the pocket. What goes into communicating on the fly like that so that you don't lose track of that?
Yeah, it's a deal that, unfortunately we didn't do as good of a job in executing, and we just get back on the sideline, and you can't cry over spilled milk. You just got to go back and fix it and identify what went wrong and make sure we get it corrected.
What did you see from Randy Gregory in his first game?
He's going to continue to get better with his conditioning, but there was a lot of flashes there, and I thought he did a really good job for the limited practice experience that he'd had just as training camp. So
they had I think 7 first downs on just penalties. How do you maybe clean that up? Is that something you guys can work on in practice? Is that just something adjusting as games go on? How do you clean those penalties up?
Yeah, I think there's always a good fine line between the penalties that are completely avoidable and the penalties are going to happen just because of the speed of the game. And, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on talking about some of these things that I think are hard to avoid, and you don't want to coach your guys out of playing aggressive and physical. And then, the things that we can control, especially on sportsman-like conduct and stuff like that, we got to make sure we don't hurt the team.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.